and welcome to Tween Tuesday. I'm Miss Cindy from the South Brunswick Public Library. Today I'm going to show you a way to upcycle any old t-shirts or even just any fabric that you might have long scraps of, like pillowcases, old sheets, stuff like that. Basically, we're going to use the fabric scraps from these items and upcycle them into brand new dog toys. So without further ado, let's go. Okay guys, let's get started on our homemade dog toys. You are going to need two things. One is a pair of scissors and the other is an old shirt. So first thing I'm going to do is we're going to take the shirt and we're just going to take the bottom half that's kind of under the sleeves. So we want what is called a t-shirt square. So I'm just going to cut right underneath the sleeves, straight across. It doesn't have to be perfect or anything. It doesn't have to be a real square. All right, I'll put this aside. Now we have our t-shirt square, which as you can see is kind of messy at the top, but that's okay. So with this extra fabric, the one that's, you know, the sleeves and the collar, what I'm going to do is kind of bunch it all up together and use this to kind of tie a, not to tie, but to kind of tuck the rest in. So let's say you got a section like that, you're going to twist and then the whole thing goes in like a ball. And you're going to set that aside. So now we're going to take our t-shirt square and we're going to turn it so that the sides that are sewn together are at the top and bottom. So starting from the bottom here, we're going to cut about halfway through. So they're about equal. Okay, now the sides that are sewn together or that are connected, you should have it kind of like a loop. So we're just going to cut where the fold was so that we have a long piece of fabric. We're going to do that again for this one. See, now we just open it. So now one is going to get laid up and down. The other is going to get laid across from it at about the halfway point. Now the ball that you made earlier is going to go right in the center and it's going to get wrapped up. So it looks kind of like a squid. Going to get wrapped and then just use a random bit of scrap fabric to securely tie it. I would say a double knot. And what I would do instead of cutting it is I would probably tuck it into this. Doesn't even need to be tucked technically. Okay, so now that you have it, it's gonna look kind of like a squid with a bunch of tentacles. So I see 1, 2, 3, and 4. So what I'm gonna do is cut each one into roughly 3 strips. So the way I'm gonna do that is I just cut each one into 3 strips, and the way that I'm going to do that is at the bottom of each, cut just at about roughly equal distances and just rip with 2 hands all the way to the top. Same with this. 2 hands, pull, and strip. 2 hands, pull all the way, and rip. You're gonna end up with a bunch of little strips. Okay, so now that your squid has all these strips, you're gonna take 3 strips that are together. So 3 strips from the same pile if you can find them, but if not, you know, no worries. And you're gonna braid them. Now, if you haven't braided before, I'm gonna show you how. Okay, so you're gonna take your strip on the right and cross it over the center. At the same time, kind of pulling it so the other side is now on the right, and this becomes the center, right? And we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna put the left hand over, and now this left one becomes the center one, and the center one becomes the left one. So basically, the 2 that you're doing switch positions every time. So this one goes here, and this one becomes the side one. This one goes here, and this one becomes side. So to the middle, we're just gonna keep braiding. You want to braid this all the way to the end. Now here you can tie a knot. You just treat 2 of them like one strand and treat one like one, obviously. Pull that through. And tug. What? So that they're knotted. And I'm going to do it again just to be safe. But now I don't need to do the whole 2 thing. I can just do 1 and 1. Alright, so that's 1. I'm going to show you again the braiding. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and tape this here, just so that I have something to pull against a little bit, you know? Okay, so again, you have your 3 strands. Take the first one. It doesn't have to be the right one. That's just the one that I'm doing. Pull it over to the center, and then this one that was the center becomes whatever the last one was. This one becomes center, and this one gets pulled here. You keep doing the same thing. The right one goes over and becomes center, and the center becomes the right. The left one goes over, becomes center, and the center becomes the left. Eventually, you can get to doing it with just, you don't need to keep crossing with your whole hand. You can just manipulate the thing by just holding it. And you get to learn how to do it after you've done it for a long time. But I have had long-ish hair for most of my life, so I have been braiding for years. But anyway, again, to tie, you take 2 of the pieces and you treat them as one. You take one, you tie a knot. Nice and tight. You go again, nice and tight. Oh, I didn't cut enough strips in this one. Alright, so again, 3 strands. Make sure to separate them. Take one, I always start with the right, pull it over to the center, and those 2 get crossed. Pull the left over to the center, then the right, then the left, then the right, then the left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. I'm just going to finish braiding. Again, take your ends, two of them, treat them as one, and tie a knot. Alright, I'm going to undo my tape, which is only there to hold. And there you have it. Pretty simple, inexpensive, upcycled dog toy that, you know, if you have intense dogs, they might destroy soon. But it gives them something new. It gives them a nice little treat. So you end up doing something nice for them. Alright, so that is it for me for today. But I will see you guys next time on Tween Tuesday. Bye!